Kitchen. I'm your host, Emily. Now, on today's show, we're going to try a little experiment called the Drunk Chef. Yes, you heard me correctly. The Drunk Chef. I will be enjoying a beautiful bottle of wine, a nice Moscato, if I must say. Now, the recipe we're going to be making today is from our favorite cookbook, the Hungry Girl 300 Under 300. Now, most of you I know haven't been cooking the recipes or trying the recipes. I must say, though, that it actually has some really great recipes that are quick and easy and actually taste really good, but with the benefit of being healthy. You can find today's recipe in Chapter 12, Crockpot Fun. It is the outside-in turkey tamale pie. Now, I know I told you, Jerry, that I was going to make it with chicken, but I decided against it because that was going to be too much work for me. So let's jump into everything that you're going to need. A bottle of your favorite wine, a frying pan and a wooden spoon, cooking spray, a crock pot, a bowl, and a whisk, a cutting board and a knife, and a 6-pack of beer in case you run out of wine. Now that you know what tools to use, here are the ingredients that you need to make it. Ground turkey, yellow cornmeal, vegetable broth, a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, 1 small onion, corn, red kidney beans, sliced black olives, chili powder, and ground cumin. Foodborne illness is a major concern when it comes to cooking. So make sure before you start cooking, you always wash your hands. First, you want to bring your skillet to medium-high heat on your stove, then add your turkey. You want to smush the turkey down and brown it, crumble it up, all that good stuff, until it's cooked through. It's going to take about 6 minutes. Now, if you have any leftover grease in your pan once your meat has all browned up, you want to drain it. In my experience, you don't want to drain down your drain with hot water because that can clog your sink. My favorite trick is to take some paper towel, fold it up, and with your pan, you want to push your meat back and let all the grease drain down. Now, my meat's pretty lean, so there isn't any there, but what you would do is once you've got all of it drained, you would dab it up with your paper towel, then you can just throw it away and you've got the grease taken care of. This is the perfect time for another drink of that beautiful wine. Onion that you've already chopped. You want to add that to the crock pot as well. Basically, we're at the point in the recipe where everything just goes in the crock pot, and then your job's done. It's a good thing about these crock pot recipes. Now you're going to want to add your 1 can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. You don't want to drain that ahead of time. Then you add 3/4 of a cup of corn, 1/2 cup of black olives that have been sliced, and then 1/2 cup of red kidney beans. At this point, you also add your cornmeal. You also want to add 2 tablespoons of chili powder and 1 tablespoon of ground cumin to the mix. Nobody says that you have to stick to any recipe. You can add ingredients or take things out depending on what you like, what your preference is. I personally like to add peppers to just about everything. So I've sliced up some peppers here, and I'm going to add them to the crock pot. Now that you've added all your ingredients to your crock pot, you can mix it all together. Now that all your ingredients are combined, you can just add your lid. And like that guy said on that infomercial with some kind of oven or something he said, You just set it and forget it. This crock-pot dinner actually takes, depending on how fast you need it, you can set it on high and cook it for 3 to 4 hours, or you can put it on low and leave it for 7 to 8 hours. I'll check back in a few hours and see how we're doing. It's been about 2 hours since we started cooking in our crock-pot. That basically means that our brine supply has just about ran out, and it's time to stir the crock-pot. So cheers to you. Enjoy. Enjoy the time. You can relax. Let's give it a nice even stir. Oh, it's starting to smell really good in here. Let's check back in about another hour or two. Sometimes the worst thing that happens when you're cooking... Okay, let's be honest. Sometimes the worst thing that happens... Sometimes the worst thing that happens when you're being the drunk chef, you run out of all the booze you're drinking. Well, if you're smart, when you went to the grocery store before you started cooking, when you gathered all your ingredients, you went ahead and grabbed that extra 6-pack. Yeah, you remember. You remember before that 6-pack in case we ended up running out of booze? Hey, all you need to do is pop open your beer and just add your lime. And if you're, you know, a badass like me and shit. and then you squeeze your lime everywhere except for in your beer. Yeah, everybody just watch me struggle. Watch me struggle to squeeze it in here. There we go! Now we're on to phase 2 of Drunk Chef. Let's wait a few hours and see how that comes out. A few things to do while you're waiting for your crock pot to finish cooking. Vape on your e-cig. Wash the dishes you just cooked with. Take your dogs outside. It's been about 3.5, almost 4 hours since we started cooking in our crock pot. So we're going to try and dish it out and see what happens. Now you can either serve it up or split it up and put it in your fridge for later servings. The way that I like to serve this up is by giving yourself a good cup or so serving of this actual delicious. Yeah, I know it's not exactly looking like the most appetizing thing, but I tell you that it's probably one of the best tasting things I've ever tried. If you'd like, you can serve it up with a little bit of your your favorite low-fat cheese. Sprinkle a little on top there. You can add just a little bit of your favorite low-fat sour cream as well. And there you go. So here you go. Here is our outside-in turkey tamale pie. Come to you from our drunk chef, Emily's Kitchen. You have a wonderful night, because we know we had a great time here. Let's have a good night with you as well.